solve for x in this radical equation. Here we have the fourth root of 5 to the power x plus 5 is equal to the square root of root 1 all over 125 raised to the power 1 minus 3x. Okay, at the first glance, it can look scary, but there's nothing scaring about it. Because the moment we see here, if we look at the expression under the fourth root, the base is 5. And the expression under the square root, the base is 1. The base is root 1 all over 125. And we know 125 is 5 to the power 3. So there is hope that we can finally bring this down to an index form with the base 5 to a certain power, and bring this one also to an index form with a base 5 to another power, so that we can now solve for the unknown easily. So there is nothing really very difficult here. All we need to do is just to apply our different laws of indices. And we need just 3 of them here. The first one is the law, the nth root of any number is simply that number raised to the power 1 all over n. That's the first law that we will need. That's the first law. The second law that we will need will be the law of 1 all over a to the n. It is simply a to the negative n. And then the third law that we will need will be the law of power of powers. A to the n raised to the m is a to the m nm. Just multiply out the powers. So these are the 3 laws that we will need in this solution. All right, let's start. Okay, we have to apply the first law here. We have here the fourth root, so our n is 4. The fourth root of 5 to the power x plus 5. So that one becomes fourth root of 5 to the x plus 5. When we apply this law, that power there will now put 1 all over the power. All right, so we have 5 to the x plus 5 raised to the power 1 quarter, which will just give us 5 to the x plus 5 all over 4. Okay, so this one becomes 5 to the power x plus 5 all over 4, this left-hand side. Now the right-hand side, we'll first of all handle 1 all over 125. We know that 125 is the same as 5 to the power 3. Now, 1 all over 125 will be 5 to the negative 3, applying the second law. Now, it has been put under the square root sign. So, the square root of 1 all over 125, remember square root, n here is 2, simply means power half, 1 all over 2. So it now becomes, in the place of 125, we'll write this. So it now becomes 5 to the negative 3 to the power half, which is simply 5 to the negative 3 all over 2. Okay, so that's this portion. Now, all of that was raised to the power 1 minus 3x. So let's go. Becomes all of this, remember, is this. So we'll now write 5 to the negative 3 all over 2 raised to the power 1 minus 3x. So that will give us 5 to the negative 3 into 1 minus 3x. To have negative 3 into 1 minus 3x, all of that divided by 2. All right? So again, all of that again was raised to the power half. All right, so let's write it out. It now becomes all of this raised to the power half. which is simply 5. Let's open the parenthesis. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3x becomes positive 9x. All of that, oh, this one was over 2, please. All of that divided by 2 times 2, 4. Okay? So, all of the right-hand side here in simple index form is 5 to the power negative 3 plus 9x all over 4. Solving this equation now, therefore, let's write this in its index form. Remember, in its index form, we had it as this. It's going to be equated to this. This will be equated to this. This is actually this. This is actually that. So we are equating this to solve. So we now have 5 to the x plus 5 all over 4 is equal to 5 to the negative 3 plus 9x all over 4. We have this index expression equal to this index expression. The bases are equal. Therefore, we can also equate the powers. For perfect equality, bases must be equal and powers must be equal. So we are using that fact for perfect equality. So the bases are equal, so we have the right to equate the powers. So we have x plus 5 all over 4 will be equal to negative 3 plus 9x all over 4. From here, if we multiply both sides by 4, we see this 4 cancels out. And so we are left with x plus 5 is equal to negative 3 plus 9x. All right, bringing like terms together. Take negative 3 this way, it becomes 5 plus 3. Positive x going that way becomes 9x minus x. 5 plus 3 is 8. 9x minus x is 8x. To have x, we divide both sides by 8. And so finally, the value of x is 1.